Hey guys, welcome back to my art recipe. I'm going to show you today how to create a autumn themed wreath. First, I have a old wreath here that's kind of fallen apart, doesn't really have the bow in life anymore. I want to maybe try and add some things to it, retie stuff, and bring it back to life and transform it into a fall wreath rather than a Christmas themed one. Or if you are feeling a little more creative, make one from scratch. So first, what I have here is a piece from a plant fence that protects the plant away from deer or other animals. First, we'll take a stick. The trick to finding the right stick is making sure it's one that will bend. I think the ones that are a little more alive than dead or fallen to the ground are the better sticks because they still have a little bit of give to them and they can bend without snapping, like the ones that are completely dried out and dead. So the first thing I want to do, what I'm going to do is start at the top, right where the metal was attached to the other piece, and just tie. I'm using the thicker string rather than using twine because I think it adds more character. One other thing to keep in mind as well is to keep maybe a piece of extra string up on the top so that way it can be used for the hanging process. At the end, you can always still go through and wrap a piece of string around it so that way you can hang it and maybe use even a decorative ribbon. But for now, just in case, I'm just going to keep some extra string here. After you've been wrapping for a while, you can actually stop tying at all 4 points and start intertwining the sticks. Does it add a pretty texture to it and a nicer design? So here's the base for the wreath, and I think it is a little thin looking, but I have a lot of different embellishments that I'm going to be adding to it, like these leaves and some more over on the other side there. So I think once I'm finished with adding all the embellishments, it's going to thicken up a little bit. So I think this is a great base. So let's get started on adding our leaves. I am thoroughly pleased with the way this came out. I highly recommend getting leaves on that fake vine the way that I just used it, because not only did it add leaves to this wreath, it also added more vines and stick-like texture into this wreath. So in my hand I have this thing. I'm not sure what it is. My dad's awesome and is a contractor and has just stuff like this lying around. Basically, what I would suggest to you if you would like to recreate something like this is to get something, anything, whether it be one of those things you screw in and it has a little loop on the back, something that can be put into the back of the driftwood or bark, so that way it can hook onto the wreath. So I'm going to take that and take some twine and hook it onto this so that way it stays. And finally, we're going to add on the pieces from this wreath here. To be honest, I wanted to kind of keep this as a decoration for fall anyway, so I decided to cut kind of scarcely a few pieces, and then I could spread it out and still use that. So I have on here, you can see already, a couple of them, and I think I'm just gonna hot glue them down and just put in the few. All right, so now, as long as you remembered from earlier, you kept a string at the top or some kind of marker to let you know where your top was. That way we can add in some other ribbon. And this is the final product. I just decided to stick with the twine at the top that I had already. I really liked that. Thank you so much for watching all my videos and my blog. I really enjoyed making this. I hope you guys can come up with something similar and can post something too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.